long as I can remember, probably about whenever I was 3, my mom would always garden and I would always help her, even though I had no clue what I was doing. So basically, she raised me on gardening. I have a dad and a mom and a sister, and I used to have a brother, but he passed away last September 30th, and he died of AML leukemia. I think he passed out or something, and they took him to the hospital because he was at that time in jail. He was actually the inspiration for my program because he had been in halfway houses and also in prison systems off and on because he always thought of himself, and that was his main problem. He was like, oh, everyone's out to get me. The world's against me. He saw me doing community service projects, and he's like, I don't even know why you're doing that. And I was just like, you just don't know until you actually experience it.
And he said, well, where I am, I don't think that's going to happen. And she got off the phone and she said, you know, Mom, I think that's what I want to do. I want to help kids like Jeremy.
My program is called Help Others to Help Yourself, and it's a gardening program in the correctional facilities all across Ohio, and it's going to go nationwide. I had to write a lot of letters to the attorney generals so then they could forward the information to the head of the correctional facilities.
We initially got the knowledge of Kristen's program through a departmental meeting, and then when we heard that Kristen was in Canton, we jumped on her just right down the road.
They introduced me to her and she came out, and I love gardening and I've been doing gardening all my life.
We're a maximum security institution of juvenile delinquents, aged 13 to 21. They've been convicted of felony 1 and 2s, murder, rape, arson, any kind of armed theft.
I was a little scared just because a lot of them were older than me. They were all guys, and whenever I first walked in there, they were like, oh yeah, we don't want to garden, blah, blah, blah. And they were all like, I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'm like, oh, it's no big deal.
We had one youth, and he was one of our worst kids on that unit, always getting in trouble. Took him out there, and he had to fuss at him about cutting and doing his weeding and share weeding. Then I guess one day it just clicked in. He ended up being one of the best youths out there. I mean, complete turnaround.
They kind of had a negative, approach to it, but then whenever they actually started doing it, they loved it.
And when it's ready to crop, we'll usually call Kristen, and they take them to a homeless shelter.
It's nice because a lot of those kids came from those kind of homes where they're needy, they're hungry, and it gives them a good feeling to know that, hey, we're helping these people.
Sooner or later, you see the real youth, not the facade they put up, the defense mechanism they've been used to.
I kind of saw a little bit of my brother in the people just because some of them had the same attitude as my brother, but this program kind of brings out who they really are.
The thing I see that's important about this here is teaching the kids about growing up, how they can learn to live off the land, to give back to the community, and to help themselves.
There's an average of 240 kids that are involved with the program just in Ohio. So far, she's gotten between 18 and 23 states that have either joined her program or have one very similar that they're going to adapt. So you multiply that times 240, do the math. That is a lot of kids, and she's only halfway to her goal.
She don't want to take no credit for anything, but I give her all the credit.
Kristen does the work. She would make the phone calls. She would answer the emails.
She's an average kid with a goal on her mind.
Just the feeling, you can't really explain it. It's just, whenever you help someone out, it's just a great feeling.